Good morning. Good morning. It's December 9th. God calling. Your search rewarded. God eventide power to help. I'm sorry. God calling. Your search rewarded. Lord, all men seek for thee. I bet you're confused right now. Me too. All men seek for me, but all men do not know what they want. They are seeking because they are dissatisfied without realizing that I'm the object of their quest. You're not an object, God. I don't like that self-hate. I don't like that self-doubt. Let's brush that off. Let's flick that devil off our shoulder. Count in it your greatest joy to be the means by your lives, sufferings, words, and love to prove to the questioning ones you know that their search would end when they saw me. Profit by my example. I left my work, seemingly the greatest work, that of saving souls, to seek communion with my Father. Did I know perhaps that with many it was idle curiosity? Did I know that there would be no rush into the kingdom, that the still small voice, not the surroundings of a mob, would alone persuade men I was the Son of God? Why be surrounded by multitudes if the multitudes were not really desiring to learn from and to follow me? Follow the Christ into the quiet places of prayer. So obviously let's talk about Jesus and his journey and his own perspective of it. That's beautiful. God even had power to help. You have the power to help. I bet that's what this was gonna be about. Not so much on what you say as on your villages to let my influence flow through you. Will your power to help others depend? The power of my Father is summoned by you to the aid of those whom you desire to help. Live in the consciousness of my presence, and your thoughts of love, anxiety, and even interest will let loose a flood of power to save, baby girl. Yes, that is great. Let's break it down. I didn't understand that whole second one. I just kind of blanked out and started reading. I don't know. It's a tiring morning today. God calling, your search rewarded. All men seek for me, but all men do not know what they want. They are seeking because they are dissatisfied without realizing that I'm the object of their quest. So that is pretty self-explanatory. God's saying right here that those people who are confused, you might be one of those people. I was one of those people for a little bit. Not really. I don't really have a testimony. I kind of just always love God. You know, I've always been like kissing that cross and bathing in and like rubbing myself down in holy water like it's baby oil. Oh my gosh, that was the dog that freaked me out. That was someone eavesdropping on me. Talk about holy water, baby oil. Okay, but he's saying here that there's so many men who are seeking something, a higher power, and they don't even understand that it's God. They don't, just because they're dissatisfied with their own life and the way things are going, then they're like, now let me turn to God. And he's saying that it's hard for him to watch this because they just aren't even aware that God is right there. He's the object of their quest. It is God. It is religion. Count it your greatest joy. So let me. If you guys are struggling with really believing God, right? Just try to believe. It's such great advice. If you're struggling with believing, just try and believe. No, if you guys are struggling, with believing in God or finding a religion or finding something tangible or finding something that you can just hold on to that you can put, just start putting all your worries on God. Just try it. Just try it out and see what happens. Because that's really what that's like, as sad as it sounds, that's something that God is there for. He's there like kind of like a therapist or a listening ear. Like if you guys genuinely don't know where you're standing, just start putting your worries on God. Just say, God, I want you to take care of this. God, I want you to take care of this. Please help me out. And just pray on that and then see what happens. I'm sure that's just so unconvincing. I'm sure it'll work out great. No, it will work out great. Count it your greatest joy to be the means by your lives, sufferings, words, and love to prove the questioning ones you know that their search would end when they saw me. Counting your greatest joy to be the means by your lives? What? Sufferings, words, and love to prove to the questioning ones you know that their search would end when they saw me. So I guess it's just saying that I don't really know. I understand what it's saying, but it makes it sound so confusing. So it's saying that like whoever's reading this and whoever's a Christian, whoever really loves the Lord, they're saying count it a joy, be happy that you're not in the position that other people have to be in, because God has full control over everything. Your past, present, and future. God has all control of that. Everything happens for a reason. So he's saying for the people who already love him, count your joy that you're not in that constant state of panic, of worry, of not understanding, of searching for God. Right? Be happy that you went through sufferings already. You went through words, love, and now you understand. You've questioned, and now you understand the Lord. Be happy that you're in this space where you are now, so that you can help other people. That you're not still lost in the dark. So that's why it's kind of saying search. Your search rewarded. So it's saying you've already gone through that. So be happy about it. And the first line is kind of talking about those people who are still going through that, who are starting that journey. Profit by my example. I left my work, seemingly the greatest work, that of saving souls, to seek communion with my Father. Did I know perhaps that with many it was idle curiosity? Did I know that there would be no rush into the kingdom, that the still small voice, not the shoutings of a mob, would alone persuade men I was the Son of God? So Jesus is saying right here that his own personal journey ended with him. He left this world doing what his favorite thing to do, which is, again, Jesus is God. So he said he left the world doing his favorite thing to do, was just helping people. But now he's able to just be up there and he's able to see the implications of his life, of Jesus' life, and what that impacted. Not only take our souls from us, but a growing power in God and a growing faith in Christ because of Jesus, which is made. That's all Christianity is. Christianity is the Old Testament, Judaism, amplified through Jesus Christ and creating a whole other sense of pride and amazement and awe in the Lord. Why be surrounded by multitudes if the multitudes were not really desiring to learn from and to follow me? Follow the Christ into the quiet places of prayer. So now let's talk about who you surround yourself with. You want to surround yourself with Christ-like people. If you surround yourself with people, and if you have a whole mob of people who are all thinking the same thing, if those people are not Christ-like and they have no want or need to journey into that, to walk into that shadow, to walk into that valley of darkness, right? And just give their full lives up to Christ, then it's just not going to be worth it. You need to fix yourself. You need to grow just like Jesus did on this earth so that you become a more holy person and you can help other people. You could watch how that trickle down effect happens, right? You can be a disciple. You are a disciple. You are a son and daughter of God. And this is one of your great duties, right? God eventide, power to help, not so much on what you say as on your willingness to let my influence flow through you. Will your power to help others depend? The power of my Father is summoned by you to the aid of those whom you desire to help. I forgot that I was doing the analyzing thing. I'm so tired. I just woke up. I forgot I was doing the analyzing thing. I just started reading again. So let's just backtrack that. Not so much on what you say as on your willingness to let my influence flow through you. Will your power to help others depend? Oh my gosh, I'm so brain dead today. Let me, not one more time. Not so much on what you say as on your willingness to let my influence flow through you. Will your power to help others depend? So just like I was talking about before, I finally get clicked. Just like I was talking about before, you have to get to that level to help others. God is saying here that your willingness to let his influence flow you is going to be what gives you that power to help others. So how malleable you are, like think of you as like a Play-Doh, right? The older you get, right, the harder it is to learn. Like just like Play-Doh, like the older it gets, the more dried out it gets, the more crusty, the less you're able to mold it and churn it. But if you let yourself get old, if you let yourself get shallow-minded thinking, it's going to be harder for God to come in and mold you. And once you and if you stay a wet, moist piece of Play-Doh, then that means other people can play with you. That means other people can learn from you, and other people can grow from seeing those shapes and how moist you are, right? You can wetten people up. If you take some dry Play-Doh and some wet Play-Doh and put it together, mash it together, it's going to ultimately get wet. And so that's kind of what God is saying. I don't know how we got to this analogy, but that's what God is saying, that it all depends on you, how much you can help people. It's not depending on God. It all depends on you and how much you're able to listen and let God's joy flow into you. So you're already at that level where you're willing to help people, but it's that next step. It's how much are you willing to give up of yourself? The power, like Jesus gave up his body, his soul, his mind, and he gave up everything just to cure us. He's not asking for that, but how far are you willing to go? The power of my Father is summoned by you to the aid of those who desire to help. Live in the consciousness of my presence, and your thoughts of love, anxiety, and even interest will let loose a flood of power to save. So he's saying right here that the more you desire to help people, the more power God is going to give you. It's like in an anime or something, like your back's against the wall, and then all of a sudden your eyes roll the back of your head, you start floating, and you have a vision, and you have a flashback. That flashback, you see God there, and you see a memory of him trying to tell you something, and he's like, you really want to help these people? I'm gonna give you this power. And then boom, you wake up, you go Super Saiyan God, and then you blast him with a cross. You get out, demon. That's kind of what he's saying here, that the power is how much you are willing to help people, and you can really see that. You can really see that in you. Live in my consciousness of my presence, and your thoughts of love, anxiety, and even interest will let loose a flood of power to save. So God is saying that all your emotions, all those things inside of you that make you human, that is an amazing power that you can utilize to help other people. That is an amazing power that Jesus used to help other people, those emotions. That's why he had to come down as a human. So if one man, Jesus, was able to change everything by just being a devout follower of God, just being God, right? How much good can we do? Because he's a human. It takes a human to be able to help other humans. It takes a human to be able to persuade other humans, right? So God's saying that we have that power that he does not. He can be up there. He can make the Bible. He can make disciples, but the only people that can really help other people is people, right? Like God's there for you. He's working in your life, but it's hard to connect that. So he's saying that the reason he sent Jesus down was to connect, to grow, to help other people through Jesus, through him. And he's saying that you have that exact same power inside of you, but you just have to grow. You just have to keep growing in the Lord, and you have to use those amazing human emotions that he gave you to help other people, to become a great speaker, to become a great follower, to become a great son, a great daughter, a great leader. So that's what today is about. That is December 9th. Happy December 9th. I love you guys. And with that, I'll say amen.